मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्यात् यच्छोकमुच्छोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य भूमावसपत्समृद्धम् राज्यं सुराणामपि चाधिपत्यम्। सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा ऋषिकेशं गुडाकेश परन्तपः न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः। तमुवाच ऋषिकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश भाषसे गतासु न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः। न त्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्। देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिर्धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति। मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्याः सांस्थितिक्षस्व भारत। यं हि न व्यथयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभा समदुःखसुखं धीरं सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते। नाशतो विद्यते भावो नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः। अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततं विनाशमप्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति। अन्तवन्त इमे देहा नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युद्धस्व भारत। य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते। न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः। अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे। वेदाविनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कं घातयति हन्तिकम्। वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि। नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः। अच्छेद्योऽयम् अधाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष एव च नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुरचलोऽयं सनातनः। अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते। तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि। अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि। जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युर्ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्माद् अपरिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि। अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना। आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्। देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि। स्वधर्ममपि छावेक्ष न विकम्पितुमर्हसि। धर्म्याधियुद्ध्या श्रेयोऽन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते। यदृच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारम् अपावृतं सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम्। अथ चेत्त्वम् इमं धर्म्यं सङ्ग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि। अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययाम् सम्भावितस्य चाकीर्तिर्मरणाद् अतिरिच्यते। भयादरणाद् उपरतं मंस्यन्ते त्वां महारथाः येषां च त्वां बहुमतो भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम् अवाच्य वादांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यं ततो दुःखतरं नु किम् हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम् तस्मात् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः सुखदुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जयाजयौ तथो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि एषा ते विहिता साङ्ख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात् व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिरेकेह कुरु नन्दन बहुशाखा ह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम् यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवद्यन्तवपस्थितः वेदवादरथा पार्थ नान्याद् अस्तीति वादिनः कामात्मानः स्वर्गपरा जन्मकर्मफलप्रदां क्रियाविशेषबहुलां भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां तया पार्थचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते त्रैगुण्यविषया वेधा निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थो निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान् यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वथा सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूर्मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि योगस्थः कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणः फलहेतवः बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह उभे सुकृतदुष्कृते तस्माद्योगाय युज्यस्व योगः कर्मसु कौशलम् कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्त्यनामयम् यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य सुतस्य च श्रुतिविप्रतिपन्ना ते यथा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिस्तथा योगम् अवाप्स्यसि अर्जुन उवाच स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्थस्य केशव स्थितधि किं प्रभाषेत किं मासीत व्रजेत किम् श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रजहाति यथा कामान् सर्वान् पार्था मनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तथोच्यते दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता यथा संहरते छायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽभ्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते यततो ह्यपि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य विपश्चितः इन्द्रियाणि प्रमाथीनि हरन्ति प्रशभं मनः तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषूपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो विजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति रागद्वेषविमुक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवशेर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादम् अधिगच्छति प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु पर्यवतिष्ठते नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयत् शान्तिरशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम् इन्द्रियाणं हि चरतां यन्मनोनुविधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावाम् इवाम्भसि तस्माद्यस्य महाबाहो निगृहीतानि सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यस्तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनिः आपूर्यमानम् अचलप्रतिष्ठम् समुद्रमापः प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत्कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे सशान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी विहाय का विहाय कामान्यः सर्वान् पुमां शरति निःस्पृहः निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः सशान्तिमधिगच्छति एषा ब्राह्मी स्मृतिः पार्थः नैनां प्राप्य विमुह्यति कृत्वा स्याम् अन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छति
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Rahul. Yeah, just move it a little more. Fine. Okay. Something is not right.
Can we lift this up? Or this is the max height?
No, this we can lift even more. Yeah. Okay. I think this is slightly better now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Pinanath, how are you?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, I'm doing good, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah, had to head home.
Okay.
So I'm driving right now. Yeah, just finished our service and chanting, and we are in the car. So I'll be joining from the car.
Okay, sure. Naresh Prabhu, how are you?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, doing good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we met in the morning in the temple.
Yes, Prabhuji.
There was a initiation ceremony in the temple, so two devotees, they got initiated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be starting after Abhi's class is over.
Okay, sure. Madhuri, how are you?
Good, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So did you attend the morning class?
No, Prabhuji. I did not attend today's morning class. Actually, yeah. I mean, I think 1:30 to 2:30 or around that time. I think prasadam happened, right? I mean, I didn't attend physically or in presence. So
Yeah.
person. So I don't know. Unfortunately, there was some issue with our taxes, and we thought some identity theft happened or something like that. So I got late for this class as well. We were looking into what happened, and yeah. So that's
Okay.
since the date is like 2 days away, right? So we always do at the last minute. So, and there
Okay.
was some other issue before that. That's why we could not file earlier. So it is a huge headache. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, IRS, they started a new facility. I'm seeing that from this year only. I did not see this last year. Starting from this year, they are issuing a PIN number.
Yeah.
So,
We just created that now. Yeah.
yeah. So if you set the PIN number, then nobody else can file taxes on your behalf.
Yeah, the SSN theft is happening right now. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why IRS started this. So they issue a PIN number. This PIN is different from the regular PIN. When you are submitting taxes on the last screen, it asks for some PIN, right? PIN from previous taxes. So that is different, and this is different. This SSN theft protection PIN number, this is different. So they started this year only.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And we created that multi-factor authentication as well, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
All the worldly problems.
yeah, padam yad vipadam. There is a danger at every step. There's a danger at every step.
Just when we try to disconnect with the material world, there's something pulling down.
Yeah, there's a danger at every step, and only Krishna is the protection.
Yeah.
Okay. So before I forget and before we get into the class, maybe some of you who are part of the temple WhatsApp group, they might have seen, but others who have not seen. So I would like to invite all of you to our Gruha Pravesham ceremony next Sunday. Sunday, 23rd, morning 10 o'clock.
Oh.
So there will be Gruha Pravesham ceremony, and then Kirtan class, Homam, everything, lunch. So it starts at 10 o'clock and goes on until 2 or 3 o'clock, Yeah. So you all please bring your families and attend this. So the new home is just diagonally opposite the current home. Yeah, in case if you're not able to find the address in GPS, sometimes GPS cannot locate the new construction homes. So if you have difficulty finding address in GPS, it is diagonally up across from the current home. Yeah.
So Prabhuji, we will not be having a regular class. We're just going to be coming to your house.
The class will be cancelled. Yeah.
Prabhu,
Congratulations, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Swati. Yeah. Bring your family. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhu, I'll be out of town. I'm going to San Francisco this Thursday evening and then coming back Monday evening. So I'll be missing it.
Oh.
Me too, Prabhuji.
Yeah, me too, Prabhuji.
Me too, Prabhuji.
Florida, unfortunately.
What is this? Even Ashok.
wrong time.
Ashok in the very beginning, Ashok said, "I'm traveling to Texas."
Oh.
Prabhuji, different day housewarming ceremony.
Yeah, please. for us, redo the housewarming again.
Yeah, almost.
Since you are traveling, I also need to travel then.
Yeah, it's strange. Like almost everybody's traveling in the group.
Probably because it's spring break or something. Yeah.
Spring break was
But
this
for us,
week.
is this week, but yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Prabhuji, I will represent everybody and I'll be there.
See?
From this class.
Thank you.
Look at the spirit. Look at the spirit. Aparna also had so many plans to travel to London and Germany, but she cancelled everything and attending the housewarming.
Yes,
Wow.
Prabhuji.
That's the spirit.
In my mind, always travels to different places. So
Yes.
physically, I will be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congrats, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you, Venugopal. So you'll be able to make it, right?
Yeah, I am in Redmond only. I will not go anywhere.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Congratulations, Prabhu. I'm not sure I can make it, but I'll try
No,
whatever.
if you are in town, you should make it.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah.
I'll give you confirmation maybe on Saturday.
Yeah. So Veenanath and Sirisha, please come. Okay.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Definitely, Prabhuji. Hearty congratulations, and 99% will be there, Prabhu, because we anyway have our service between 1 to 3. So we'll come before that.
Yeah. Please, thank you. Yeah. Okay. And starting from May first week or second week onwards, we'll have class in the new home. So it's a big home. So I need all of you to come to the home. Otherwise, if it is just Ashok and Aparna or Naresh and Kiran, it's not enough. You bring all your neighbors, colleagues, everybody. Yeah, we have to fill the room.
We have
Prabhuji,
to,
last week it was very nice when everyone was there in person
Yeah,
together.
very nice. Yeah, it feels like festival. Whenever we meet,
Yes.
it feels like festival. Yeah.
Yeah. That too, we have been in this class for almost a year now, right? So
Yeah.
meeting in you should we didn't know that your graduation will be this soon. Yeah.
So Madhuri, where are you going during that time?
We are going to Florida, Prabhuji. I've been suffering from lack of sun. I had like severe levels of vitamin D and low levels of vitamin D, and also I wanted to just go out more and be in the sun and do some outdoor activities. So we planned this like 2 or 3 months back, and there's one friend, so we'll be away till May 6th, 2.5 weeks or something.
Okay.
So just wanted to stay and work over like where the sun is more and stuff like that. So I'm more a sunny person rather than a
Okay.
that's
Good.
Yeah.
You don't have to go that far just for sun. There is a place in Seattle, right? What is that? There is a place in Seattle where it is always sunny, and I think even during winter time, people go there.
Oh.
you mean Yakima side?
What is that?
Yeah, is it Yakima area?
Oh, not Yakima. There is a small place. I never been there. I'll try to find it and let you know. It's in couple of hours drive from here. It's always sunny there. People go there, just like whenever they feel depressed due to lack of sun, they go there, spend a couple of days, and then come back.
Everyone, please take your vitamin D supplementation every day if you're not taking it. Just FYI, at least 2,000 units every day if you're not drinking milk.
I was prescribed 5,000 IU every week now.
Probably 50,000 Mataji. That's usually the high dose one if you're very
low.
Yeah. So
it's critically low at this point. So
no.
Just to add, vitamin D deficiency is very common for most
Indians and dark skinned people. Yeah.
Especially here. And also check your vitamin B12 as well. So those are the two that I heard.
Yeah, vitamin D and vitamin B12. So there's no good source in vegetarian food, to get these two vitamins. And there are few things, but even if you take those, there's no guarantee that your body will produce vitamin D and B12. So it is best to take supplements.
Yeah.
Madhuri Mataji, can you post the pictures from last week?
Pictures of Florida, you mean? Oh, this. Oh, yeah. I thought I posted
Kiran
in
was
the
not there,
group.
right?
Oh,
Kiran was
oh.
not there. Oh, yeah, Kiran was there. Yes. Yeah, Kiran was there. Yes. Okay. Everybody was there.
I wasn't there, Prabhuji. I was traveling last week.
Except Rahul, right? Yeah.
Rahul, yeah.
Oh, yes. Now let's show the pictures to Rahul and make him feel guilty.
I still have the flavor of the good food, Mataji.
Oh, thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, it was awesome. So she worked very hard. She and her husband, they both worked very hard. Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah.
And thank you, Madhuri Mataji, for being very kind to us and lovingly feeding us and opening your home.
Oh,
Thank you. Yeah,
our
really.
honor, Mataji. Yeah, hosting you all and getting that opportunity to have Prabhuji and all of you guys at our home and getting to chant and everything. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Our home had like very positive vibes after that. We still didn't move anything. All the furniture is still at the same place. And yeah, it feels very spacious, wide, and Krishna's blessings are still there. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. So let's get started. So what did we discuss last week?
We discussed what is tolerance.
Tolerance.
And
We discussed attachment, expectations, tolerance, few keywords that kept repeating.
Yes. Yeah. Hare Krishna, please come.
humility manifests when we are tolerant.
Yeah. Humility.
And it is the number one required thing to gain knowledge.
Yeah.
And,
Spend a lot of time on the definition of it as to what tolerant means. Tolerance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What exactly is tolerance? So what is tolerance?
So whatever comes to you, you accept as it is. Then that's like the meaning of tolerance. Definition.
Willingness to accept things as they are.
Willingness to accept things as they are. That's the definition of tolerance. Yeah. So, okay. What else?
We discussed more on different ways of performing a task, like the four ways, like love, fear, desire, and duty, I think. Yeah. Why the duty and love are more persistent, and how they give consistency in performing a task.
Yeah.
Whereas desire and fear are we cannot work longer with those emotions at the back of our mind. And
yeah. Okay.
And then why we need tolerance is another thing that we talked about quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. So why do we need tolerance? Even if you keep, spirituality, God aside, why do we need tolerance in our day-to-day life?
Because we need happiness.
Yeah, sustain our relations. To sustain our relations.
We discussed about, I think, different emotions or different consequences of having tolerance, like humility. I think, there are many other. 18 chapters.
13 chapters.
13.
8 to 12 shlokas. So there are shlokas where Krishna describes the process of knowledge and what exactly is knowledge. It consists of 26 divine qualities, and The whole thing starts with humility. And when a person is tolerant, they naturally become humble. They naturally become humble. So there is a shloka in Shikshashtakam written by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the only thing he wrote was Shikshashtakam. So 8 verses of instruction. So Ashtakam is 8 shlokas. Shiksha means instruction. So Shikshashtakam means those are the set of verses in the form of instruction by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in that series of shlokas, the Ashtakam, Shikshashtakam, there is a shloka called, there is a shloka that goes like this. Trinadapi sunichena karoriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari. So it says Trinadapi sunichena. That means let me become more humbler than the blade of grass. The blade of grass, everybody steps on grass when they are walking. Let's say you are walking in a park, or you are walking in the backyard of your home or the front yard of your home. So you are walking on the grass, and let's say it's a summer season and grass is is growing 1 feet, 2 feet tall, and so every time you step on the grass bends like this, and then again it comes back up. So no matter how many people are stepping on the grass, still the grass comes back up and always remains humble. So this instruction from Shikshashtakam, Trinadapi sunichena karoriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari, it instructs us to become more humbler than the blade of grass. To become more humbler than the blade of grass. So whenever you see grass, that should remind you of this instruction from Shikshashtakam, and it should remind you of tolerance. Because only by tolerance you become humble. Only by tolerance you become humble. Okay, so what else? What else did we discuss? So we have Kirti who just joined here. Kirti and her 2 sons. Hi. Your father helpera? Okay. Okay. So what else did we discuss?
We discussed
Humility. Yeah.
we discussed about Satchit Ananda
Mhm.
and Yamaloka.
Mhm.
What is sent to Yamaloka is if he is so
Yeah. So also, did we discuss this point in the last class only? Like when we suffer, who suffers? Is it the body, soul? Okay. Was it from prior to prior class or last week only?
Prior to prior.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So coming back to this point of the definition of tolerance, right? Tolerance is accepting things as they are, accepting things as they are, whether it is happiness or distress, accepting things as they are. That's tolerance. And we should tolerate both happiness and distress.
We discussed about humility, but why we need to adapt it is where we stop.
Why we need to adapt?
The tolerance, and why humility is one point.
Yeah.
But we ended as like, why do we need to choose this one?
So why do we need to tolerate?
Why do we need to choose this route of tolerating and accepting? Why? How can we arise it? What is it?
Yeah. So why we need to tolerate? So that's a good question, right? Why we need to accept things as they are, and why we need to tolerate. So it's a general tendency that when we are in happy situation, we don't ask why, right? Nobody asks, why am I happy? The other day when Rahul won 1 million lottery, he never asked why me, you know, why only me, why not Ashok? Rather he must have said why I should win the lottery. So only when there are difficulties we ask why me, why only me. So it is like, for example, okay, I wish everyone was here in one room, but let's do this small exercise. Okay, so wherever you are, wherever your room you are in, so you look at your surroundings and count the number of red objects. So look around in your room and count the number of red objects. It can be red, maroon, or different shades of red. So just count how many, you know, red objects do you see. Everybody's turning their heads back, left, right.
14.
Except Naresh. Naresh, simply by closing his eyes, he can count. Either that, or there are no red objects around him. Okay. 8. Okay, Naresh is saying 8. Okay, let's go around the, you know, room. Swati, how many objects did you find?
4.
4. Okay, Kiran?
14.
14. Wow. Parna?
6.
6. Madhuri?
4, Prabhuji.
4. Rahul?
2, Prabhuji.
2. Okay, now Venugopal turned on his video. He's wearing a shirt.
Actually, my daughter asked me to drop somewhere, so that's why I drove last 5 minutes. So I did not listen.
Okay. So we asked to count the number of red objects that you see around you.
Okay.
So your job is very easy. You just look at your shirt and say 1.
Right.
Okay. Vidanath and Sirisha?
I'm driving, Prabhu, so probably.
I saw one red car, Prabhu.
You saw one red car. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I have 2 red objects, headlights of the car ahead of me.
Okay. Okay. Or maybe you should look at Sirisha's eyes and say 2 red eyes. If she's angry at you. Yeah. Okay. So Ashok and Kirti, they are here in person. So how many did you find?
Your shirt is red also.
It's a shade of red. Yeah, orange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirti, how many? 12? Okay, 11.
If not considering that, if you consider that objects, then it's 19.
Okay. Okay. So some number of objects. Now, if I ask you, how many number of blue objects did you see? You don't have to count now. You don't have to look around and count now. But while you were counting red objects, you anyway looked around, right? All 4 directions. And you counted red objects. Now, if I ask you another question, how many blue objects did you see? While counting red objects, how many blue objects did you see?
And then like 5 or 6.
You'll not be able to tell, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we were concentrating on that red.
You're concentrating only on red. That's a good point. You're concentrating only on red. You're not concentrating on anything else. So similarly, in our life, just like the red objects and blue objects, they always exist. Okay? But we were only focusing on red objects. Similarly, in our life, happiness and distress, they always exist. But we only focus on distress. We only focus on distress, and we only question when there is a distress. We never question when there is a happy situation. And very often we recognize or we acknowledge happy situations and celebrate them. Very seldom we are in the present moment. We always think that I'm not happy. I'll become happy later on. If I do this one last thing, I'll become happy. If I achieve this one last thing, I'll become happy. So we're always looking for happiness in the future. We are not acknowledging the happy situations that are already there in our life. Just like how we were not focusing on the blue objects when we were counting red objects. Similarly, we don't focus on happy situations. There are many happy situations, but we don't become satisfied. We don't focus on them. Rather, we complain. Even if there is one small difficult situation, we complain. Why me? Why not others? So why should we tolerate? Why should we tolerate is there are some situations that we can change. There are some situations that we cannot change. Things that we can control and things that we cannot control. Things that are under our control, yes, you can try to change them. And if they become in your favor, well and good. But many things in our life, 99% of things that happen in our life, they are not under our control. That's why we must learn to tolerate. Yeah.
What we mean is we are so, learning and adapting tolerance, it gives you an ability to look life in different scenarios, just than the sadness or distress. You're missing opportunity.
What is that?
Like by tolerating, adapting, improving your skills to tolerate, it
Yeah.
helps you not concentrate only on the distress, but it helps you to put other opportunities and other things in your life.
Yes.
And don't make you be in that only spot.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So we discussed these points also, right? Instead of becoming resentful about the difficult situations, learn to acknowledge the alternate things that you can do. We discussed two examples. For example, a group of friends, they plan to go on a picnic, and one of the members, that person fell sick. Now he's forced to stay home. Now everyone else went on picnic and they are enjoying, and this person could not go to the picnic. So instead of becoming resentful, so he needs to look for the other alternatives, the best thing that, best bargain that's available. So he can sit at home and take rest and read a book or watch TV, something. He can talk on the phone with friends and relatives. So instead of that, if he becomes resentful and why everyone is enjoying on the picnic, why not me? Why am I being forced to stay home here? Then that's going to hurt him more than the actual problem. The actual problem, which is fever, that can be treated by taking some medicine. But if that person remains resentful about the fact that he could not go on picnic, that's going to hurt him more than the actual problem. So
Instead of fixing his fever, they trying to compare it with something else.
So the point that we should learn here is we need to look at we need to look at other alternatives. Okay. Now here in the case of that picnic example, so that person who fell sick, he was finding an alternative in a different matter. Picnic is a material thing, and sitting at home and reading a book or watching TV, that's also a material thing. So he was instead of becoming resentful, he was finding happiness in a different matter. If we extrapolate that analogy and apply to this shloka here, 2.14, what does it mean to us to find alternatives is, instead of finding happiness in matter, find happiness in spirit. Yeah. So in that example of picnic, he was finding happiness in a different matter. Instead of one matter, he was finding a happiness in different matter. But the lesson that we should learn is, instead of finding happiness in matter, we should find happiness in spirit. Yeah. So if we spiritualize everything in our life, if we spiritualize our work, our home, our day-to-day activities, anything that you do in day-to-day life, if you spiritualize it, then you will be happy. You'll be happy. So instead of finding temporary happiness in matter, you'll find long-lasting happiness in spiritual things.
But Prabhuji, in that example that you have mentioned, that he was he wanted to go with his friends, but he had to stay home. In that moment, how would he be spiritual? What would he do to make himself happy in a spiritual way, instead of watching a television or reading a book or looking at something else which is materialistic? What should he be doing so that he turns that focus?
Yeah. So instead of reading a material book, he could read a spiritual book. He could read Bhagavad Gita or some spiritual book, Bhagavatam or something. Or he could listen to some lectures. He could chant. Many things he could do. He could go to temple if he feels a little bit better. So there are many spiritual activities that he can engage in. Yeah.
Prabhuji, what about people who, this is just one instance, he was not feeling well, but there are some people who are always depressed or always deal with loneliness, and for them, like, they don't have anyone to talk to, or they don't have a temple as a resource, and so they're just going down this spiral hole. There's not like a hope for them, or, oh, I'll get better and then I'll go meet my friends. What can we recommend? How can we recommend them to be more spiritual so that they can feel better?
Yeah. So World Health Organization defined health as follows. A healthy person is healthy in 4 different aspects of life: physical health, mental health, social health. Social health means social and emotional both, okay? And spiritual health. So this is a definition given by the World Health Organization, WHO. So they themselves defined health. The true definition of health consists of these 4 elements. And a person who is not healthy is lacking one of these 4 elements. Either they are not socially and emotionally not not healthy. They don't have proper social relations, and they don't have proper emotional stability, or their either physical health, mental health is not proper, or their spiritual health is not good. So people who are mentally depressed, that means they are lacking. They are definitely lacking spiritual connection. So for them, there is no other alternative. They need to adapt to some spiritual activities, whatever religion they are following. Okay, so the highest is Sanatana Dharma, but before they realize that highest religion is Sanatana Dharma, so they can practice whatever religion they are practicing and whatever method they are practicing. It'll make them happy. It'll make them come out of that depressed situation and feel happy. Yeah. So, what else did we discuss?
We also discussed, Prabhuji, that nothing is approved without the will of Krishna. Nothing we go through, everything is approved by Krishna.
Yeah.
And we also need to realize that Krishna is available to us.
Krishna
is always available to us.
Yeah. Why did we discuss that point?
Because resentment, as an example.
Higher taste. We discussed about higher taste, right? So going back to Aparna's question also, right? So they need to have some higher taste in life. Without higher taste, they'll feel depressed.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yeah.
If let's say somebody is sick and they don't know what to do, and what do they do? And if somebody has cancer and they're about to die soon, what would they normally use the last moment of their life for?
So you're asking about a person who is not connected to God, or
no, just normal person who has cancer, and any person, God relationship, no God relationship. If he has cancer and he's about to die, what would he do in the last moment?
Yeah.
What would he do until he dies?
So I'll explain what a normal person who is not a devotee would do, and then I'll explain what a devotee would do in that situation. So an ordinary person who is not a devotee means who is not connected to God, who does not have any awareness of spirituality, who has never been to any temple, church, or mosque, or anything. So for that person, it's a very miserable situation. Cancer or the terminal disease is a very miserable situation. Knowing that he will leave his body in few days is a very painful thing. It's a very painful thing because there are so many attachments that person has developed. Now, when he's told that you have only 1 month, to live, it's a very painful situation for that person, and so he will be very frustrated and asking questions like, oh, why me? Why it is happening only to me? And because of lack of knowledge in spirituality, he does not know why it is happening to him like that. Okay. First of all, they don't believe in good karma, bad karma, all those things. So, what is it?
question was like, why do they get affected by these diseases?
Oh, why do we get affected by these diseases? Yeah, so I'll come back to that. Yeah. So this person, who is not connected to spirituality, so it's a miserable situation for him, because they can't explain why only that person is suffering and not anyone else. Whereas a devotee looks at that situation as an opportunity to remember God. A devotee looks at that situation as an opportunity to remember God. As Harivilas Maharaj said multiple times.
So technically, devotees don't care about if they die or not, because for devotees, it's the best thing. The death is the best thing of life, and for materialists, it's the worst, because
The worst thing.
somebody has he's devoted to Krishna, he'll go back to Krishna if he dies. So it's the best moment of life for devotees, but it's the worst moment of life for materialists. Because if let's say somebody he has cancer, but he made like billions of dollars. What is he gonna do with that dollar? All of it is gonna go back to the bank.
Yeah.
It's not there is no success for materialists, right? That's why
he worked so hard in his life and not able to enjoy. And then at the time of death, because of cancer, he's seeing so much of money in his bank, but still he has to leave. It's a very painful situation. It's a worse situation. Whereas for devotees, it's an opportunity to remember Krishna and go back to Krishna at the time of death. Especially, in case of planned death like this, it's a very good thing.
For the person with cancer about to die, if he didn't go to the doctor to speak about the doctor, and he could probably get cured. What if he used that money? He has a lot of money, so what if he used some of the money to give to the doctor so that he can get rid of the cancer? Would that be possible?
By spending all of his money, can he get rid of his cancer?
No, like spending all of his some of his money because he's rich. So if he's spending some of his money to the doctor and the doctor hospital, and then he spends it to the ER, and like if he spends it to the emergency response, if he spends some there and he goes to the hospital, and what happens if he manages to stay alive and is cured? Will if he keeps using his money to do that, will it technically just make his life worse or something? Like make his life extend or something?
So most of the cancer situations, they are not curable. Even if they are curable, even if they are cured temporarily, they will reoccur after 12 years. Okay? And even if they get cured, they don't learn a lesson. A materialist person, they don't learn a lesson. Even if they get cured, they don't learn a lesson.
Prabhuji, this is a different question. Why off topic of this question? I've just been wondering, what are some of the main animal bodies a materialist will have after death? I'm just wondering. I've been wondering about this a lot.
What are the animal bodies?
What are the main animal bodies the materialists will have after death?
Oh, materialists after their death, what are the different animal forms they will get?
No, the main animal forms. The
main animal forms.
Yeah, when the materialist dies, what body?
No, when a person dies, when a materialist person dies, they can take any animal form based on their desires.
I know, but what do like the normal materialist? What is the very common animal people usually get into that in the next life?
So probably a tiger or lion, because most of the people are meat eaters, right?
Yeah.
Most of the people are meat eaters. So if they have a strong desire to eat meat every day and so much of meat throughout their life, probably in the next life they would become a tiger or lion, so that they can fulfill their desires of eating meat every day. Yeah, that would, I could say, a tiger or lion would be a common animal body materialist persons would get.
Okay, so last question. This is the last one.
Yeah.
If like let's say an animal killer kills a cow.
Yeah.
And eats it. Does the cow have to turn into a human to kill the cow, or can it turn into like a tiger, an animal form to kill the cow?
No.
The cow that was actually a human.
If
Does it have to turn into human, or can it turn into like a tiger, lion that can still devour the tiger?
No. If an animal like tiger or lion kills a cow, there's no karma. There's no karma. Yeah, lion.
I know, but what if the human kills the cow? What if the human kills the cow?
Yeah.
And then in the next life, the human takes form of the cow, and the cow takes form of tiger. So Krishna doesn't want it to keep repeating, so he makes the cow turn into a tiger to kill the human instead of a human. Is that possible?
A human kills a cow. So
the cow takes form of a tiger, and the human takes form of the cow. The tiger will still kill the cow, but it won't start repeating again.
No, the cow.
Because that's the tiger's karma, right?
Cow doesn't have to take the form of tiger. Okay, in the next life.
I know, but could it be possible that could happen? Could it be possible?
No, after cow, it is human life.
Okay.
After cow life, it is human, but that human who killed the cow. So Bhagavatam describes that person, whoever killed the cow, he will take so many number of births as the number of hairs on the body of the cow. Let's say there are 2 billion, 2 billion hairs on the hair strands on the body of cow. So that person, whoever killed the cow, he will take 2 billion births.
Okay, now I'm scared now.
Yeah. Okay, Madhuri, you can say.
Let's go. Yeah, hold the question.
Okay. I'm gonna move. That was all. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Madhuri said something.
Prabhuji, for the second question, I think Naresh asked. So, so you mentioned that those who eat meat would tend to become tigers or lions or like angry animals, right? So all the vegetarians would become deers and cows, pray to them or something.
Today I was reading the shloka where it says like when at the moment of death, whatever they remember, that is the birth they take. It's in each chapter.
Yute kalevaram amtame vaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitam. Yeah. So, yeah. Now the difference between eating meat and eating vegetables, fruits, by
the body can digest it faster. And it's meant for digesting vegetables and not meat.
Yeah. So our body is not meant for eating meat. But the question is, what happens to the people who are eating vegetables, fruits, and leaves? So the difference is in the consciousness, emotions or consciousness, right? Animals have higher consciousness or higher amount of emotions compared to trees. So when you are eating fruits, vegetables, and leaves, you are not causing the cause of great suffering. You're not causing the cause of great suffering. Whereas when you kill animals, they're like human beings, right? They have higher consciousness, not higher compared to human beings, but much higher compared to trees. So when we kill animals, we are becoming the cause of great suffering. That's why you are punished.
Prabhuji, I have one more question.
Yeah.
So, let's say in our past karma or sometime before, we have killed a cow, and probably we are taking birth those many number of times as that cow hair on the body. So, so in that case, let's say in one of the births, we start remembering Krishna and we are into Krishna consciousness and we don't eat meat and try to be more sattvic and stuff, right?
Okay.
So is there a chance to stop this cycle, or we still have to complete our karma?
No, we don't have to. We don't have to complete, we don't have to nullify our karma, or we don't have to wait until that papa karma is, is finished. As Krishna says in 18th chapter, 66th shloka, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshaishyami ma suchaha. So Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and surrender to me. I will take care of all your sinful activities. Do not fear.
Okay.
So gradually we will come to a stage, gradually we will develop stronger faith on Krishna and surrender to Krishna. Then Krishna will take care of all our sinful activities. Because with our own efforts, it is impossible to nullify our sinful activities. It is impossible. Because we have accumulation of sinful activities from millions and billions of lifetimes, not just this lifetime. So with our own efforts, it is impossible to nullify our sinful activities. So only Krishna can give a, what do they call, in India, when a prisoner is given punishment to be hung to death, the president can
Bail.
Can give another Telugu word, kshama bhiksha. What is the English word for that? Forgiveness. Let's say forgiveness. Yeah, forgiveness. So only Krishna can forgive all our sinful activities. With our own efforts, we cannot nullify them. Yeah.
So outward we need to put this immense self and spiritual activity.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can surrender to Krishna only if we are faithful. If we
accept it, because two people they pray God. Like I see two people, they do immense pujas and pray God all this time.
Yeah.
But on the other side, they do all kinds of bad karma.
Yeah.
And even though they are immense in the spiritual activities, I feel that they haven't accepted their mistake. So how is Krishna going to affect in that scenario? Like how does he going to protect us? Is it like we need to say, hey, this is what I mistake done. I don't think that this specific person is going to go and say another person, yeah, I've done mistake with you. Or maybe he says to the person, yeah, I did mistake, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how is Krishna going to rectify our mistakes? Like, how would he help us in order for us to nullify our karma?
So Krishna creates situations in our life to make our faith stronger on him. Okay. So whatever situations happen in our life, everything is an opportunity to remember Krishna and make our faith stronger. In 11th chapter, there are some shlokas where, after Krishna shows his Kalarupa, the fearful Kalarupa form, and Arjuna asks, who are you? Because looking at the Kalarupa form, he's afraid, and Arjuna asks, who are you? And then Krishna says, I am time. Time I am. I am the time factor that devours everyone and everything. So with the time, our so with as time progresses, we'll see many different situations in our life. Most of the situations are difficult situations. So every situation is a in that purport. Prabhupada actually writes this this message in the shloka where Krishna says "Kalos me," time I am. In the purport, Prabhupada writes this, saying that every opportunity in every difficult situation in our life is an opportunity to increase our faith on Krishna. So Krishna creates situations in our life to make our faith stronger. And that is how he is going to rectify.
But
it's not called faith.
Like as you mentioned,
Faith.
Faith. F-A-I-T-H. Faith.
Maharaj says it's faith.
No, faith is destiny. Yeah, this is faith.
But like give an example earlier, like a materialistic person, right?
Yeah. Can you speak a little louder?
Yeah.
On the call, people on the Zoom, they may not be able to hear.
Materialistic person, for example.
Yeah.
They go through some circumstances and they reach the God.
Yeah.
And Krishna.
What do you mean when they reach God?
Like I see a lot of times is mostly a type situation where a materialistic person or a person who is always causing harm to others are also spiritually devoted to God. And I always wonder, is it the free pass by reaching the God?
No.
Like, why isn't it God? Like, that's what I observe is like, oh, I'm doing all this bad karma. Let me go and do this puja, and this is going to nullify. Is that what?
No. So first of all, so we have to define what is reaching God, right? You said reaching God. So reaching God means what? Have they realized God? Have they seen God?
Oh, I have done this bad karma. Get me out of this.
Yeah.
Right? What I see is I have went and created a harm to someone.
Yeah.
And I know I intentionally did it or unintentionally did it.
Yeah.
So most of the time people are like, whenever there is a distress situation comes in, they're like, reach the God. And things get better. But they don't change.
Yeah.
But again, something happens. They go to God.
Yeah.
This keeps on, the cycle keeps on going. So does it mean
cycle keeps on going until Krishna creates a situation where they cannot find any solution. Even after, praying all the 33 crore devatas, they cannot get out of their situations. So Krishna does create situations like that.
So, but what I was asking about is, what is the way to reach Krishna? Right? Yes, he makes a situation, create a situation.
Yeah.
Where he wants the other person to be closer to him. But does it mean that he's going to enlighten this materialistic person that whatever they have done was not supposed to be done?
Yeah.
And they need to change their approach.
Yeah.
And then only he's going to help, or how that things work is what I was referring to previously.
Yeah. So they will, they will come to an understanding slowly, after getting beaten up by by difficult situations, they will start thinking about this higher truth. So as you said, okay, so let's say somebody gets some difficult situation and they go to a priest and perform some puja or some remedy, and then they get better. Okay, they overcome that situation and they become happy. Now after a few months, they're encountered with another situation and they do another puja and then they overcome that situation also. So how long can they do it? After multiple attempts, they'll start realizing, okay, so I am entangled in this process of getting beaten up by difficult situations, and every time I'm doing something, it seems to be getting better, but very soon I'm encountered with a more challenging situation. So he will acknowledge that fact and then start inquiring about the higher truth.
So,
And then he will look for permanent happiness. Instead of looking for temporary happiness, he will look for permanent happiness.
So no matter how many karmas you do, there will be a person who is good and another person is utter manipulating. But if they go to God, they both will have their karmas nullified. Is that what I'm understanding?
No. So when a person who is doing pujas to get rid of his difficult situations, his intention is not to serve God, not to love God. He's a pure materialist person. So such a person, he cannot even go to God. Such a person, he cannot even go to God. That person who tolerates things in life and then takes those situations as an opportunity to remember God, only they will go to God. Yeah.
As for the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 3 stages for devotees: Kanishtalikari, Madhyamadikari,
Uttamadikari.
The character describing falls in Kanishtalikari.
Yeah, but what she is selling is not even devotee actually. He's just a materialist.
He knows that
Just a materialist.
he or she knows that they have done all the karma to get where they were. And they think that, okay, I'm going to go and explain to the God and get rid of my karmas and I'll be a God devotee, and at the end when they have everything well,
Yeah.
they will be like, I'll reach God.
Yeah. So in simple words, she's asking is, okay, a person can do all papaka karma and then they can go to God and do that prayaschitta, right? What is that? Confess to God, just like they do in Christian communities, right? They confess to God. And then they think Jesus has taken all the sins away and then now they are free to do more papa karma. So, no, it doesn't happen like that. Yeah. Yeah.
If somebody is on free, has there been a little? Has there been sometimes when some person went back to God, but did not read the Bhagavad Gita? Is that did that happen?
Person who has never read Bhagavad Gita.
If they read the Bhagavad Gita in their past life and they for some reason memorized it.
Yeah.
Is it possible
Yes.
that they could go to God without reading the Bhagavad Gita in their next life?
Yeah.
As human?
Yeah. So in the temple, there is a book called Vedic Stories, Gita Stories. So in Gita Stories book, it's a long book. Okay. It's the size of a big white paper, A4 size white paper. So in that book, there are 18 stories for 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, explaining how different animal bodies, how they got revived of their heavenly bodies or spiritual bodies, simply by remembering from their past life, whatever Bhagavad Gita or chanting that they have done in the previous life, they got remembrance of that and then they got revived of their spiritual bodies or heavenly bodies.
Okay, one more question. Are devotees allowed to break the regulated principles only if they have the permission of God?
No, they can never violate the regulative principles.
They never, even if they have the permission of Lord Krishna.
And God will never give such permission. Yeah. So does your dad ever allow you to touch the fire?
Sometimes I blow to smoke.
Huh?
Sometimes I blow to smoke of the fire, but not the fire.
Yeah. So he will never allow you to touch. He will never even recommend you to touch the fire, right?
No, not touch.
Yeah.
Couldn't touch.
So violating the regulative principles is like touching the fire.
He's touching the fire. His whole skin, his whole entire palm.
Yeah.
It's turning into flesh.
Yeah.
The dead skin is coming.
Yeah. So violating the regulative principles is like touching the fire. So God will never recommend that.
I have one question.
Yeah. Venugopal, 1 second. Kirti is asking something.
That we will be taking forms like what we desire, right? Do we get choice to choose what form we need to take in the next life?
Yes, you have a choice to decide or to become anything that you want in the next life. Basically, in the current life, you are shaping your next life. So your desires in the current life, your activities in the current life, shape up who you are going to be in the next life.
So here I am, not choosing to have a next life, and I want to say I'm done being a human being or any kind of being.
Yeah.
Forget about human being.
Yeah.
Not even any animal man create.
Yeah.
I just want to be with God.
Yeah. You want to go back to spiritual world.
Yes.
Yeah. You're done with this material world. You're frustrated and enough of suffering in the material world, and you want to go to spiritual world.
But
Okay.
I want that, but still I may have desires. Does
Yeah.
that mean that because I have desires, I will have a rebirth and not have a choice to go back to spiritual world?
Yeah. If you have even a tinge of material desire, you cannot go to spiritual world.
And how do you control your thoughts in that day? Like just say to God that this material desire from me?
It comes with everyday sadhana. So everyday sadhana consists of chanting, hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam. So these are the 3 most important processes. You hear every day, you chant every day, and you remember Krishna every day. This is the sadhana that you have to develop every day. Then slowly you will develop stronger faith on Krishna, and all your material attachments will go away, and attachment to Krishna will become more stronger. And one fine day you will surrender to Krishna. One fine day you will actually practically implement the lesson of this 2.14 verse. What is the lesson of 2.14? Accept things as they are in life. See, right now we are understanding this at a theory level. What is tolerance means? Accepting things as they are in life. But are we ready to accept things? No, we are not ready yet. So if we if we do sincere sadhana every day in our life, then one fine day we will get stronger conviction on Krishna, saying that everything that Krishna does is perfect. Whatever happens in life, it happens only by Krishna's will, and everything that Krishna does is perfect. Because he is a perfect person, right? So whatever he does is perfect. And everything that happens in our life happens only by the will of Krishna. So we'll be able to come to that understanding and accept things as they are in our life. So first and foremost thing is sadhana. We have to increase the level and sincerity of our sadhana. Then the faith will become stronger, and then we can surrender to Krishna. Yeah.
We don't choose what we the next life decide.
Yeah. No, we choose. We don't consciously choose, but implicitly it happens. We don't explicitly choose, but implicitly that's what happens. all our desires and activities in the current life, they shape up our next life.
Nobody would choose to have a miserable life. Everyone have different lives.
Yeah.
Right? That's where I had the question as like, why would someone choose to have a miserable life? If you people have a miserable life, that wouldn't be a desire for anyone, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be desire, but they right now they cannot discriminate between what is happiness and what is distress. The so-called happiness that everybody is thinking, it's actually distress. So they don't have a proper understanding of what is happiness.
So you are saying that the distress a person goes through is what a happiness means. Is that what you think?
No, it's an opportunity. The distress is an opportunity to achieve permanent happiness. Distress is distress anyway. Okay, it's not happiness.
So
either from material standpoint or spiritual standpoint, it's a distress only. But the distress is an opportunity to become happy permanently.
get closer to God.
Yeah.
So people usually choose that lifestyle in order for them to be closer to the God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So if you tolerate distress, and then there is a Shreyas and Preyas, two things, right? Preyas is temporary benefit, Shreyas is permanent benefit. So if your goal is to achieve Shreyas, permanent happiness, then you're not disturbed by these temporary disturbances. It's like heat and cold. What does the shloka say? Happiness and distress are like winter and cold. They come and disappear. Agama apayino. They come and go. You just have to tolerate them. Instead of that, if you get disturbed, then you will not get Shreyas.
But getting disturbed is not something you have a control over, right? It's a chemical imbalance is what we have in the brain.
Yes, you have control. If you practice learning, if you practice tolerating, then you can.
One is Maraji, Krishna confirmed this material world is Dukhalayam Atrasham. Everybody who is put here, they have to suffer.
Yeah. So as I said, 99% of the things they are not in our control. Whatever happens in our life, 99% of the things they are not in our control.
Temporary, it's suffering.
Yeah.
They're all temporary.
Yeah. So it comes and goes. Yeah. Okay, Vinana, you have to go.
Only,
okay.
So great souls like Prabhupada, they come to with us. We're on the same boat. Side by side.
Yeah.
Helping us this route. Maybe he was a devotee like us in the last life. And maybe this life will be like so that he can help us.
No, Prabhupada is a special person. Prabhupada is a special person. He is an associate of Lord in the spiritual world. So he was sent to the material world by Lord to deliver all of us. Yeah, he's an empowered soul. Yeah. So, okay. So let's come back to this topic of tolerance.
Question.
Oh yeah, Venugopal, you had a question, right? Yes.
So my question is related to the statement of accepting things as they are.
Yeah.
So in real scenarios, let's say whenever I face any problem, I ask Krishna to get out of that problem. But sometimes, even after praying hundreds of times, actually, sometimes I'm not able to come out of that problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that context, how should one proceed further, especially understanding the more real meaning of accepting the things as they are? And so in that context, I got a question like whether we should pray to God to remove out of the problems, or how I should behave. So that's what my question.
So the prayer should be to pray to Krishna to give the ability to tolerate that problem. Now it is up to Krishna whether he removes the problem or not. It is up to him. Okay, the correct prayer should be, Krishna, give me the ability to tolerate this problem. So let's say you're praying to Krishna, several times, and the problem is not going away. So what's the other solution you have? What's the other option you have? The only option available is tolerance. So pray to Krishna to give the ability to tolerate that problem. Or another perspective is, in the class today in the temple, Harilas Maharaj, he was reading the purport from chapter 12, shloka 13 and 14. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaro samadukka sukham kshami. In that purport, Prabhupada writes, whenever a problem occurs in a devotee's life, the devotee should think that I deserve much more difficulties than what I am having right now, but Krishna has decreased the severity of the problem. Krishna has decreased the severity of the problem. So the first thing that we need to understand is, Krishna will not give any problem without the ability to tolerate that. Krishna will not give any problem without a solution to that problem. Along with every problem, Krishna gives solution also. We will not be able to see that solution right now, but slowly and steadily we will be able to see that solution. So until we see that solution, we sincerely have to pray to Krishna to give the ability to tolerate it. That's the only option we have. Because if you are in that situation, that means you are not able to come out of the problem with your own efforts. The only option left for us is to take shelter of Krishna and pray to Krishna that, oh Krishna, give me the ability to tolerate this problem. What else can you do when COVID happens and everybody is forced to remain at home and people are dying like fireflies? What else can you do? You cannot do anything. You're simply asked to tolerate it and pray to Krishna to give the ability to tolerate it. Yeah.
Prabhu, can't I ask to completely go out of that problem? So instead of tolerating that problem, so can we ask to keep me out of that problem? So something like that. In general, my prayer will go in that way. So to completely go out of the problem.
Yeah, you can ask, but even if you don't ask also, Krishna will get you out of the problem. As in the shloka it is said, right? Agama apayino. Happiness and distress, they come and go. But it's a good point that you raised, right? So the problem is whenever a difficult situation occurs in our life, we consider that as the end of the world. Whether it's a small problem or big problem, we consider that as the end of the world. So even a minute problem, which is not even like significant to even talk about it, but our mind plays a tricky game and makes us think that is the end of the world. That's why Krishna put this topic of tolerance amidst the 20 shlokas where he's talking about soul. So unless we understand things from a different platform, from a spiritual platform, we cannot practice tolerance. See, in the last 20-30 minutes, we have been talking about practice tolerance, pray to Krishna to give the ability to tolerate, right? But unless we understand things from a higher platform, from a different platform, we cannot practice tolerance. We have to understand that this current life is like a mustard seed in the purview of eternality. Soul is eternal. Soul is eternal. So in the purview of that eternality, This current life is like a mustard seed on a long line. You know, you see the current, the electricity lines, right? The electricity line, it feels like it is running infinitely from one end to another end. It seems as if it is infinite. There's no beginning and no end. Now imagine a small mustard seed somewhere on the, you know, in the middle of that electrical line. How insignificant that is. It is totally insignificant. A mustard seed on that so-called, you know, that infinite electrical line, it is very insignificant. Similarly, this current life in the purview of eternality of the soul is very insignificant. And within this life, the momentary situation that occurs is even more insignificant. Let's say the lifespan is 70-80 years old. You know, do we remember you know, small problems that occurred like 10 years ago? No, right? But what was our reaction when that problem occurred 10 years ago? That was the end of the world, right? 10 years ago, when that problem happened, that was the end of the world. We are out of that, and now we don't even remember that problem. That is what Krishna is telling in this sloka. Happiness and distress, they come and go. There's a famous saying, right? People will say, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. That is what Krishna is exactly telling here.
Prabhuji,
yeah.
So, I mean, what you said is absolutely true, Prabhuji. I mean, the moment small thing happens, we start questioning why is it happening to me, and we start getting stressed out and panic about it. But there are some problems.
Just one point to add there, right? As they say, the actual problem is only 10%. Our mind makes it bigger, and the 90% is 90% of the problem is with the mind.
Yeah.
The actual problem is only 10%.
Yeah.
The remaining 90% is added by the mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I think the reason why we worry that much is because there are some problems that could be life-changing, like they could, I mean, like have permanent results or consequences in our life. Of course, we also move on from them, or at least learn to tolerate them after some years. But probably I think we are worried about like what would happen if, yeah, it is one of those problems, like life-changing problem. And yeah, sometimes like a butterfly effect, right? Like one thing leads to another, and eventually it becomes very big and stuff. So I mean, like when Gopal Prabhuji said, I mean, even today that happened, it was like a small issue. It would not even matter next year. Or the reason, I mean, we need to get a refund. We are not even we don't even have to pay taxes from them to them. But it kind of panicked. I mean, both of us. But me, I generally panic more about everything. So, I mean, just after that, it feels like if a huge burden is lifted out of my shoulders, and that's a very small problem, and it's not even that big after looking at it after it happened. But at that moment, it's like a groundbreaking kind of. So
the reality is, you can have the same mindset, just like you said, right? After that problem is resolved, it's like as if 10,000 pounds of weight is removed from your shoulders. You can have the same feeling or same mindset even when you have a problem, if you practice tolerance. So the problem is right now we don't practice tolerance. But if you practice tolerance, you will be sthita prajna.
Mm.
You will be sthita prajna. You will not be disturbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know I got at least 1% better than I was like last year or something.
Yeah.
After being more serious about Bhagavad Gita and being into spiritual this thing, at least 1% better. I could see that change in myself. But yeah, a long way to go.
Yeah. So as they say, right, you pick your battles when things happen in your life, right? You pick your battles in the context of your higher goals, to protect your higher goals. So you pick your battles. So if there are small things that are not even worth giving attention to, and they're not even worth spending time and resolving those problems, you just ignore them and you focus on the higher goal. For example, let's say you are driving on the freeway, and then there is another car who wants to overtake you. That person is with the road rage. Okay, so he is trying to overtake you. Now what should be your reaction to that? It's a very insignificant thing. So if that person is trying to overtake you and you also get into road rage and you also try to overtake him, is that going to be beneficial to you? If you don't have an understanding of Bhagavad Gita, yes, you think that's going to benefit you, because it's your ego problem, right? It's your ego problem. Okay, that person is doing something and I must also do it to protect my ego and to prove that I'm better than him, to prove that I can drive faster than him. So there, the ego plays a big role. But now, after having an understanding of Bhagavad Gita, that is very insignificant. So you'll think that, okay, that person is a mad person. Let him drive at whatever speed he wants to. I'll drive at 40, 50 miles. So let him do whatever he wants.
How do you handle a
So in less than a minute, you resolve that situation.
I can give a practical example, Prabhuji. This time when I went to India,
Yeah.
the same incident happened. One guy was honking.
Yeah.
He overtook us. After some time, he went and crashed with a bus.
Yeah.
Bus.
Yeah.
Luckily, nothing seriously happened.
Yeah.
The vehicle was damaged.
Yeah.
If I was not into Bhagavad Gita and all, I would have said, like, don't give him space, you go fast.
Yeah. Let me prove that I am faster than him. So in that process, you will hurt more. You will hurt yourself more. So that's why they say pick your battles.
But how do you handle conflicting persons who are going to cause you a lot of harm in your life? Like, for example, there is one conflicting person, and their main agenda is because they know that you are a person with good intentions and good values.
Yeah.
And most of the time, a person with good values being taken advantage by this conflicting persons. How do we make sure that, because in that fear moment, the person with good intentions to, because they are in a survival mode or a protective mode, they have to take some steps.
Yeah.
And so how does you want to protect from a conflicting person and also make sure that their good values doesn't get diminished because their path to Krishna is going to be interrupted and being disturbed? But this conflicting person is trying to take advantage, and how do you handle, because this person are curable, right? But whereas in Krishna Bhagavad Gita, anything we say, like the evil comes to hurt you, it's your main responsibility to protect yourself first. Or do we say that, like the road rage example is, okay, you have a choice not to rage at them.
Yeah.
But suppose the same road rage person is trying to come and bump into your car or trying to attack your car. You cannot say, oh, go ahead and do it, right? what
Yeah,
we
obviously,
forget
you will not
about
say, you know,
yeah,
you will not keep quiet.
scenarios, because that again adds to bad karma, like in order for this convicting person to stop, you need to react.
Yeah.
Not react, or at least respond to it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to create more havoc in your life.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot say pray God and he's going to take it.
He will. We have to do that, and we also have to do what is needful. We have to pray to God, and also we have to do what is needful.
But doesn't we add a bad karma?
No.
Because we are hurting someone. Like there will be some scenarios where you need to stand up and stop. And
Yes, we need to. So, what was Arjuna's situation or Yudhishthira's situation? There were conflicting things, and they did not keep quiet, right? So initially, they tried avoiding fighting. They asked for just 5 villages, but when Duryodhana said, "Forget about 5 villages. I will not even give you that piece of land that can hold a small needle." So then that's when the war was inevitable. And to protect Dharma, yes, they decided to fight.
But at the end of Mahabharata, so they say, right, because of the Pandavas and the Krishna being involved in Mahabharata, they had suffered a lot after the Mahabharata fight. Is it because of the karma of the war? Because was that expected them to be choosing to accept their fate? Like, okay, this is what we are going to get and we are not going to get any land. Was that expected, or instead of accepting it because they went into fight? Even Krishna had a horrible ending, right? Because he was being cursed by Kunti, Duryodhana's mother. That's what I read. I know this continuity in the stories. But what I heard is at the end, the Pandavas and Krishna, they didn't have any peaceful death too.
No. Krishna does not have death. So he leaves the body whenever he wants. So when he decided to end his pastimes and his leelas in Dwapara Yuga, then he chose a hunter as an instrument. And then when Krishna was sitting on a tree, a branch of a tree, then that hunter was trying to shoot arrow. He was looking at Krishna's toenail and thinking that it was a bird. And he shot the arrow and it hit Krishna's toenail, and then Krishna left the body from this material world. So Krishna does not have a death like us. And Pandavas. So even after we have Krishna in our life, you can't expect that your material life will be happy. Okay, you cannot expect that material life will be happy. After reading Bhagavad Gita, after starting going to temple, after starting chanting, do not expect that your life will be happy. Yeah.
I'm still wondering if there are 2 principles, because killing is against the principles, and Arjuna had to fight in
Killing for dharma, killing for protecting dharma is allowed.
The permission. So, like, I'm confused why you're saying, oh, Krishna does not give the permission for breaking at least one regulative principle.
So Krishna encouraged Arjuna to fight and to kill the Kauravas to protect dharma.
Yeah, so that's technically giving him permission to do that, right?
Yeah, to protect dharma, whatever is needed, Krishna will give permission for that.
Yeah, so that's technically permission for breaking the regulative.
No. So when regulative principles are what? Meat eating, for example, right? So there is no dharma there. Even if Krishna gives permission to eat meat, there's no concept of establishing dharma there, right? It is hurting an animal. But even by hurting an animal, if there is a higher benefit, then Krishna will give permission to that. But if somebody has a desire to eat meat and have some enjoyment and happiness, there's no higher benefit there. It is a selfish desire or benefit for that individual, not for the community or not for the society.
So only if it's like something good, like you're doing it for dharma.
Yeah, some higher benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a high benefit, or you have a extreme reason, or like lots of reasons to prove you're able to do something. Is that okay?
Yeah, basically higher benefit, not extreme reason or anything. Just think of it as higher benefit. If there is a higher benefit, to achieve that higher benefit, Krishna can sanction. Yeah. Okay, Swati, you had a question?
Prabhuji, a comment on the,
Yeah.
no, I had a comment on the example that you gave, like the road rage or any such situation that happens where, somebody is saying something mean, and for that, my dad gave me a good advice.
Okay.
I would like, so that I thought was very helpful. He said that you can decide if somebody drew a line, a small line, you can either decide to make an equal line, or either you keep making your own line bigger, meaning that you keep doing your good work, and nobody can come close to your equal self, because then you're putting in that equal good work. Maybe it is your job, maybe it is your spiritual growth and whatnot. So you don't have to equal yourself with somebody. You have to keep working on making your line bigger. Make your line bigger. Don't try to understand why somebody said something or somebody did something. You just keep working on making your line bigger. Nobody can come close. And I thought that was very relieving for me. That has always helped me, that advice.
Yeah.
I thought that can help others too.
Yeah, so keep doing good things. Even if other person is hurting you, keep doing good things.
Yeah, and also I think about all our good leaders like Modi ji, for example. He's constantly working towards everybody's trying to bog him down. You can think about his situation. Every single day he has to millions of battles, and he has that tolerance. He has that, and more leaders like him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he can do it, then if we come to that state, Sthita Prajna state, then even we can achieve great things like he is.
Yeah, exactly.
I had another unrelated question once you.
Yeah, so even, you took the name of Modi and any big leader, right? They're also practicing this tolerance in some sense. They may not have read Bhagavad Gita, or they don't have concept of spirituality, but they're also practicing tolerance, and they are letting go of things that are insignificant and focusing only on big things. Otherwise, how can they make big decisions when they have too many challenges? So they're also practicing some kind of tolerance implicitly.
Why some people are choosing like that, like for example, Prabhupada or the politicians?
Yeah.
Why there is a difference in people, how they live or act? Like why is one's type and another is the other? And how come person like politicians, how they are able to do that? Is that something God decides? Like this is the person who's gonna rule this or lead this herd of people?
Two things. It is a person's desire, and based on what the person desires, and based on what a person deserves. So two things. So simply having a desire to become a president, one will not become president. So you need to qualify to become a president. So both desire and deserve. Yeah. And that qualification comes from past life, karma. Yeah. So why people like Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, why they are so powerful and so wealthy, so rich, while others, they are struggling to make their daily livelihood. It is simply based on karma. Yeah. So Aparna, you had a question?
Yes, Prabhuji, I had a question. Not a question,
Yeah.
more of a comment.
Okay.
I know that since starting Krishna consciousness, I personally feel like my material so-called demands or asking God for, please do this, please do that, oh, I'll do this, and please can you do it? Like kind of that, barter or bartering kind of relationship is ended, and I feel good about that. But since, the last few weeks we've been discussing about tolerance and all these kind of where you have to be more stable in your emotions when these bad things happen, I feel more guilty if I do ask, which is reduced. I mean, to begin with, since the last year and a half, it's definitely reduced. But anytime I ask, oh Krishna, please remove this hurdle out of my life, or maybe help me reduce it, I feel guilty because I feel like I should maybe keep quiet and just tolerate it, versus demanding Krishna you remove it, because it's his plan that I go through that emotion or feel that this is not a very good situation for me. So Prabhuji, what would you recommend? I mean, is it okay to feel, or should I just keep quiet and just tolerate it? Is it still okay to ask Krishna
So
that please remove this hurdle out of my life?
yeah. So I mean, Krishna knows everything, right? He's residing as Paramatma in every living entity's heart region. So he knows everything, past, present, and future. Vedaham samatitani vartamani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. So he knows past, present, and future. So we don't have to explicitly ask him to solve a particular problem in our life. He knows, okay? But the best effort that you can do is, so until you come to a platform where you start developing the unalloyed devotion for Krishna, okay? Until you come to that platform. See, right now we all have Mishra Bhakti, okay? Bhakti mixed with some desires. It's called Mishra Bhakti. So in this state, this is also fine. Because what we are practicing is Uttama Bhakti. What the practice that we are doing is, we are practicing the highest thing, the Uttama Bhakti. But while practicing that, we have our desires. We have our desires to become, to be happy materially also. Okay? So it is okay. It is okay to be in that state while we are practicing this Bhakti in the Mishra Bhakti stage. So in this Mishra Bhakti stage, we can pray to Krishna instead of praying to some demigods and doing some puja or some fire sacrifice or something else. It is best to ask Krishna, Krishna, I'm not able to tolerate this problem. So please get me out of this problem. It is okay. It is okay to pray to Krishna. And even better than that is, ask someone else to pray for you.
So,
1 second, let me complete this. So ask someone else to pray for you, because Krishna will fulfill prayer of someone else for you than your own prayer for yourself. Because when we are praying for our own self, it is selfish, right? It is selfish. But you can ask others, your friends, your parents, your well-wishers, to pray to Krishna on your behalf, so that Krishna will listen to the devotee's words and then either lessen the burden that you are going through or completely remove that burden in your life. So there are different stages, right? One is, okay, in the Mishra Bhakti stage, you can ask him. You can pray to Krishna to get rid of the problem. And slightly better than that is, ask others to pray for you. Ask others to pray on your behalf. And then third stage is, do not ask anything. Because Krishna knows everything. He knows when to give problem. He knows when to resolve the problem. Krishna knows everything. So that is the highest stage.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
can we say to Bhagwan ki you have given me this problem. Thank you for that. But I'm assuming that you are here to teach me something.
Yeah.
Because that is how I approach it. And please do what is best for me.
Yeah.
And
Krishna has a plan for
because
everything.
you know what is right for me. Please do what is right for me, because I'm out of thing. I can't think of any options. So you do what is best for me.
Yeah. So we discussed this point, right?
Yes.
God has plan for everyone. And then we discussed a story of a sweeper in the temple, watching his deity, his dearmost God, standing in the form of deity all day long. And he thinks that, oh, my Lord must be having pain on his legs, standing all day long. I would like to offer him a comfortable seat. So does anyone remember that story, Swati? Yeah. Remember that, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
what is that story teaching us? The story is teaching us to understand God's plan for everyone. So instead of making our own plans, just like that sweeper made different plans, and he was thinking that he was saving them. But God had a perfect plan for all those three people. He had a perfect plan for the sailor, perfect plan for the rich man, perfect plan for the poor person. But with our own efforts, if we try to disturb God's plans, then we suffer.
That was my question before. When you say that, like, okay, I'm done handling this issue. I don't have any energy anymore.
Yeah.
Take me out of this issue.
Yeah.
Does it mean that is going, or that moment is going to suit me out, and again he's going to give me bad things to handle it in a time where he thinks that I can handle it?
No, say that again.
So, for example,
You have a problem.
We have a problem, and you try to tolerate it.
Yeah.
But there are situations where, like, how much ever you tolerate, you cannot handle it anymore.
Yeah, there is a threshold, right? Everyone has a threshold to different.
I don't think I can do it anymore. But God has planned to give you more than what the threshold limit you have. Maybe because He wants to break the threshold limit.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that, because for me, I have a threshold limit. And I don't know whether I can go forward that, because I don't know my ability or what is God going to give me solve that issue.
Yeah.
But because I was so much in suffering, and I go to God and say, I'm done.
I cannot suffer. I cannot tolerate this anymore. Yeah.
Does it mean that He is going to bring back pain again? Or whatever He planned to give you would also be vanished because you are unable to tolerate the exam He gave you?
So look at the example of Draupadi. So what happened in that assembly, when she was being disrobed, then first she, she was seeking help from whoever was available in that assembly. And then she was trying to protect herself with her own efforts, trying to cover with her hands and trying to hold on to the sari She was trying to protect herself with her own efforts. And in the end, when nothing was working out, then she just let it go and then surrendered to Krishna. And that's when Krishna started reciprocating, and then he protected her. Yes, in our life, there will be situations where we seem to have crossed our thresholds, and then with our own efforts, we are not able to, handle that anymore. Then, if we sincerely surrender to Krishna, Krishna will definitely get us out of the problem. But when we are not able to solve that problem and still trying to solve the problem, even after failing multiple times, if we are still trying to solve the problem with our own efforts and not surrendering to Krishna sincerely with 100% conviction, then Krishna lets you handle the situation. Yeah, he will not reciprocate. Krishna will reciprocate to the degree that you show faith on him. Yeah, if you show 10% faith, Krishna reciprocates to that extent. Yeah. So 2 people raised hands. Okay, Madhuri and Swati. So I did not pay attention. Who raised first? Okay, let's give chance to. Okay, that's okay. Go ahead, Madhuri, because Swati already asked so many questions.
Prabhuji, I have this question about what you said just now. You said when our threshold reaches and we surrender to Krishna, then he will show us some solution, definitely, for our problem, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, so when so I have this dilemma that when should I try to follow my dharma and go forward and perform something, or when should I surrender? I mean, sometimes the threshold is I just out of panic we start praying as soon as the problem starts.
Yeah.
And sometimes I mean, we know that we have to take a hard decision, and we have to take that decision, or there will be some consequence irrespective. At that point, it might hurt the decision, but in future, if we go with the other way, it will hurt many people or something like that. And so, I mean, how do we decide between dharma and surrendering, and giving up to Krishna, or more in terms of materialistic question? So when to go with the flow, or when to stop that flow and take a different direction? So how do we decide between the two, and how do we know when to take what path?
So if I understand your question correctly, you're asking how do we know our thresholds to different situations, and how do we understand when we are crossing our threshold and no way out for us?
Yeah, sometimes when we have to take the tough decision, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to hurt now. At the same time, we don't want to hurt in future as well. So we might start praying, and we might think that's our threshold as well.
Yeah.
But it's just I mean, we have to take a stand. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
how do we decide? How do we know that threshold, and whether it's the threshold or it's the situation out of control? Yeah.
Yeah. So then the best thing to do is seek guidance. When a particular situation happens in life, right? If you're not able to decide what to do, should I act one way or the other? If you're not able to decide, best thing is seek guidance. Seek guidance from elders or spiritual master, and they'll be able to provide guidance. Because the question that you asked is is very subjective, right? So if you give an example, I might be able to answer that more clearly. But best thing is seek guidance.
Okay.
Go approach an elderly person or a spiritual master and give all the details. They'll be able to guide you. For example, you were there in that morning class, right? Last week. So Pavan, he had a dream. He saw Prabhupada in his dream. And also, he saw an accident in the dream. He saw Prabhupada, and also, after meeting Prabhupada, when he was driving the car, he met with an accident. So he did not know how to interpret that. First of all, seeing Prabhupada in the dream is a very big fortune. But he did not know how to interpret the worst part, meeting with an accident. So what was Prabhupada trying to convey, and how to interpret this whole dream? Two things: Prabhupada coming in the dream, because Prabhupada coming in the dream is a very rare thing. So many of us who are practicing in Krishna consciousness for many years, we have not seen Prabhupada in the dream. So whereas this person who just started his journey on Krishna consciousness, started reading Bhagavad Gita like 1 or 2 months ago, now he saw Prabhupada in his dream. So definitely he is very lucky. But how to interpret the whole thing, and what is the message Prabhupada conveying by showing an accident there? So then he came, he talked to me. I explained to him based on whatever knowledge I have. And then I recommended to meet with Harilas Maharaj. So he came to the whole family. They came to temple on one working day, Tuesday, morning they came. And they spent 1.5 hours talking with Harilas Maharaj, and he explained. So that's why when there is a situation, and if you're not able to decide what to do, seek guidance. Life should be guided. Life should be guided. So certain things you'll be able to decide by yourself based on the knowledge that you acquire from Bhagavad Gita. Certain things you'll be able to decide by yourself. But if you're not able to decide, then approach a bona fide guru and seek guidance. Or as they say, right? You open the pages of Bhagavad Gita and you'll find a solution. If you open it with a sincere effort, you'll actually find a solution in Bhagavad Gita to the problem that you are facing. Anytime we face a problem, if you sincerely open the pages of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna directly will point to that shloka where he's showing a solution to our problem. We have heard this many times, right? Different people saying different times. Like, you open Bhagavad Gita and you will find solution. It is actually true. If you do that with a sincere effort, you will find solution in Bhagavad Gita itself. Yeah. If you're not finding the right shloka, right page, right solution in the Bhagavad Gita when you are opening it, then go approach a bona fide guru and they will guide you what to do. Yeah. Okay, Swati. This is the last thing.
Prabhuji, I
up
have
with a
an
list of
unrelated question.
1 second. She was saying something?
Nothing, Prabhuji. Then I'll write down my list and therapy session will start.
Yeah, Harilas Maharaj is very approachable. He's available, especially in the morning times. He's available every day. Yeah, Swati, go ahead.
Prabhuji, I had an unrelated question, but this has been going on in my head for the last 2 weeks. In this image we have right on the front page, why do we have Hanuman Bhagwan and his flag right on top?
Yeah. So Hanuman represents victory. So in that shloka, Kapi Dvaja. So Kapi Dvaja. Kapi is Hanuman. Kapi actually means monkey, but it refers to Hanuman. So Dvaja is that flag. So Kapi, in the first chapter, if you remember, from first chapter, there's a shloka where it is mentioned Kapi Dvaja. So Hanuman represents victory. That's why on the chariot, Hanuman is sitting on that flag to indicate victory for Pandavas.
But we have the flag and an image. Both are there. So both represent the same thing.
Flag and image of Hanuman.
It's the
So
flag, Hanuman on the chariot.
So
there's a flag
flag
and image of Hanuman Bhagwan. Both are there.
Flag, there is
So
a
is
yes, yeah. The image of Hanuman is on the flag, right?
right, and there's Hanuman Bhagwan too. Over here.
Also the deity of Hanuman.
okay.
Mataji is mentioning.
Deity on the chariot.
Oh, there is a deity on the chariot?
On the book.
Hanuman's
Yeah.
deity.
Oh.
Yep.
Two things. So what does that mean? Was my question.
Flag usually indicates, whenever somebody achieves victory, they raise flag, right? Even we see in this country, when somebody is playing sports, first of all, the cheerleaders, they they use flags to cheer the other team.
Yeah.
And after gaining victory also, they use flags to celebrate. So flag indicates, that's why every state, every country has flag to indicate, victory. So flag itself, maybe there is some Shastric explanation for this, but we have seen,
It's like a logo.
Hmm?
It's like a logo, right? Logo printed on it.
No. Just to talk about the flag itself, without Hanuman's picture on that, the flag itself represents a sign of victory, and Hanuman's picture on the flag itself, it emphasizes victory for Pandavas. So, flag will be raised after they gain victory, but having Hanuman on the flag indicates that Hanuman is supporting, just like how Krishna is on their side supporting Pandavas to gain victory. Hanuman is on their side to gain victory. And after the victory, the flag will be raised. Yeah.
Okay. There's no other significance of this, correct?
Yeah, it is to indicate victory. It is to indicate victory for Pandavas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
gave me a book of Mata Kunti.
Kunti prayers.
Right.
Yeah.
When I was reading, like he says that she is the strongest woman I ever knew.
She is?
She's the strongest woman.
Strongest one.
I
Yeah.
ever knew.
Because she was praying for difficulties. We are all praying to get rid of difficulties, and Kunti Devi was praying for difficulties. Krishna, give me difficulties.
So in the book, I was reading this and it really caught my attention as, like it was saying few things. It's not the topic for today, but
Yeah.
something I wanted to ask Haridas Prabhu itself is like, what was this intention about?
Mhm.
So basically the paragraph of it was a person, a Brahmana has to be a Brahmana.
Yeah.
A king has to be a king.
Kshatriya has to be Kshatriya.
Kshatriya
Yeah.
has to be a Kshatriya.
Mhm.
And so that specific person is not doing their responsibility, what they are supposed to do,
Mhm.
they're not going to get respect for, like a Brahmin, if they not read a mantra,
Yeah.
they not go and say, I'm a Brahmin and give me pride.
Yeah.
Give me that respect.
Yeah.
Are you keep your respect? And
Mhm.
similarly, a king, if he is not a good king,
Yeah.
like for example, here, Duryodhana and they are all there. I really don't know whether they were good kings or bad kings.
Yeah, they're obviously evil,
Yeah.
evil-minded persons.
So in that scenarios, the other person has to take the responsibilities.
Yeah.
Okay. Why doesn't the God itself make this person who has to do the responsibilities, makes them realize it, and gives that position to another person. It's like how we have in the materialistic world.
Mhm.
We're working and not working, we replace that person.
Mhm.
Right? That's how the world today is. Like we are easily replaceable. It's always like they're easily replaceable.
Mhm.
Whether in personal life or professional life, things are like that right now. You are very replaceable, not like irreplaceable.
See, there is a cable, like extension cord.
So when we are trying to be an irreplaceable person, you need to follow a lot of steps too, like in order to protect your position or something.
Yeah.
I have two questions in it. Doesn't it add to the background because you're trying to make sure that your position. Are you? Doesn't mean the karma hand. The second thing is it not teaching you to the materialistic world that is you are replaceable? How do we consider this sentiment? Because for me, the first time I read, yeah, it was man, like he's not doing his job. So someone else has to take it. For example, a husband, the same responsibility will be a giver, and it is not doing that the person has to take the responsibility.
Yeah.
But the first thing is this person so that's fine. So it's basically there are two things is in order for you to step up with someone else's responsibility. What does that mean? Because they are not doing the responsibility. Does it mean that you're adding karma to it? Because you're snatching a position out of someone else.
No. If you are doing what is the right thing to do, you're not incurring any karma. So if the other person is not fulfilling his duties, someone else will fulfill those duties. Because how the whole ecosystem in the society is running with a proper order. When all the four varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, when they perform their own duties, when they perform their prescribed duties, then the whole society runs with an order. But if somebody does not perform their prescribed duties, then it disturbs the whole ecosystem, and someone else will try to do that.
So it's like dharma to protect the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So taking up, it's not like it's not like a work. We are trying hard to get into a position.
Yeah.
The other person already has a position and not working.
Yeah.
So you're working hard to get into that position and showing that
yeah.
So it's not bad. You're just trying to pull your step.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And sometimes you may not have an option. You just have to take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it doesn't mean that you're replaceable.
It doesn't mean you are replaceable.
Because that's what we hear every day. If you are replaceable, you are replaceable.
Yeah.
When I was reading that, I was like, anyone, if they are not doing the better job, we should do that.
So the better word is nobody is indispensable, as they say, right? Nobody is indispensable. So they can fire anybody anytime. So nobody is indispensable. Yeah.
And the other part is like, what if the other person is not wanting the responsibility, but have not given a choice? Right? Would that be a bad kind of the person who was supposed to do the responsibility?
Definitely. If a person is not fulfilling his duties, they will incur bad karma. That's what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, right? When Arjuna was trying to escape from fighting, so Krishna tells him, it is sinful not to fight. For a Kshatriya, it is sinful not to fight. They'll go to hellish planets. On the other side, if he fights on the battlefield and if he dies, he will go to heavenly planets. Yeah, because he performed his prescribed duties. If he does not perform his prescribed duties as a Kshatriya, he will go to hellish planets.
Again, as process of it, he's going to kill a lot of people in the world.
But he's killing for a higher benefit, right? He's killing to protect Dharma. So that does not give him,
He didn't have an option there. So he chose
the war was inevitable. The war was inevitable. Yeah, he tried to avoid war, but Duryodhana was not listening. So war was inevitable. So then it is okay for him to fight, and in that process, it is okay to kill people.
And in the same book, I read this also what when disturbing to me, but probably that was it's like segregating people based on their powers and roles.
Segregating
like
people based on
their powers and roles. Like a Kshatriya is number 1, second is a Brahmin.
Yeah.
And there was like third and fourth place goes to women and Sudras. Like anyone who is with Kshatriya, like they do their king and everything, they are in the first place.
Yeah.
Why is that segregation out there? Because yes, it's a job they are doing. But why are we saying, hey, this person is in the first place, this person is in the second place? Because these other people, like the last 4 people, they didn't have an option. Right? They are born in that specific clan.
It's not by what it is by their duties and by their characteristics.
Yeah.
So in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtuvam Guna Karma Vibhagashati. So it's all about the and the karma, the duties and their intrinsic qualities. Say, for example, a person is born a leader, like he is more inclined to do soldier kind of activities, so he becomes Kshatriya. Someone is like more inclined to recite mantras and doing puja part, he'll become a Brahmana. So those class of divisions is created by gunas and karmas, not by birth actually. So by birth, whatever we have in the society as of now is opposite to what Krishna says.
Yeah, in today's society, the caste is based on birth. If you are born in Brahmana family, you automatically become Brahman. But that's not true. So it is based on guna and karma, qualities and the activities. Yeah. Okay, so it's 7:48. I think we can conclude the call here. So thank you everyone. And once again, next week we'll not have the class, but I look forward to seeing you all at our home Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. Sunday morning. No, the housewarming. Oh, make sure 1 second. In the beginning, Japan. Okay. See you all then.
Yeah, Prabhu, please.
Aparna will represent all of you.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Prabhu, can you please post the recording for today's? There's a lot of things that I want to go over again once.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely post. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. See you all next week.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.